It is the Riot Podcast. Welcome to Tuesday.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it's we're having a good Tuesday, right?
It is. It's Hudson's in now for OB, and it's his second week. But this is the first full week.
Yeah.
So I feel like this will be the real true test for you.
Yes, this is where it really becomes a struggle to where
you know it'll be a struggle, or are you okay?
well, it was a struggle today to stay awake.
We didn't talk about it on air, but he stood up, and that is the telltale sign that when someone's tired and you're in radio, you have to stand up.
You missed it. I don't think you were in the studio at the moment, but before you saw me standing up, I was standing up and I was staring out the window because I needed the sunshine to wake me up also.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but we made it.
We're
here. This is a podcast intro. That means we did a whole show and we're still kicking, still going strong.
Still ready. Well, in this podcast today, hopefully there'll be something that you guys really enjoy.
Yes, it'll make it all worthwhile. Well, we talked about, the naked bike ride in Philadelphia. There's one interesting exception to the nakedness, and you probably could guess.
Yeah, and it's coming up in August.
Yep,
so
if you want to plan ahead.
Want to plan to not be in Philadelphia, or if you
want to be in Philadelphia.
We're going to leave that up to you.
Yep. We talked about, it's so funny, Chris happens to be in the room right now. We talked about his missing coffee mug.
There's a missing coffee mug here at Radio U.
It's a mystery.
I told Hudson that you can give his coffee mug back to him when your keyboard's fixed.
When my keyboard has a space bar again.
He's holding it hostage.
Yeah, we wish we knew where it was. Spoiler alert, it's
looking.
A mystery. Everyone is a suspect.
That's right, until proven innocence.
Yep. And we also spent a lot of time. We learned about Jake from the Afternoon's dog. Yeah. We learned about a lot of other people's dogs, but the best part was learning about the people who have eaten dog food. We'll leave the person of interest in that. We'll leave that as we don't want to spoil it.
No, but you need to listen to it. And if you ever hear anything in the podcast that you want to jump in on, text us at 877-2-RADIO-U and join in. And then we'll see that the next time we're in the studio.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks
we
want
to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you've ever asked yourself, just how bad can it get? We've got your answer right here. Worst of the Riot, Radio U.
For the first time in possibly forever, we've got a new Lucky Charms mascot. Now, it's only for a limited time, and I'll give you a hint. It makes a very easy Lucky Charms pun. It's Loki.
Oh.
Loki Charms.
Loki Charms. Well, that's a nice collab there, I guess.
Yeah. Did you see what they're doing? They've got...
So it's not the one guy? It's not the... Is he a leprechaun? Make sure.
What they've got is... They've got like this box of special edition Loki Charms that you can buy starting tomorrow. It's a pre-sale that starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, my gosh. Wait, online or at places?
Yeah, online.
I was like, are we supposed to line up?
Line up at Walmart. And,
I mean, if you have to, I guess. But all right, so it's an online line.
It's an online deal where if you can guess the password. Now, Loki is very mischievous. In fact, the website is called mischievouslydelicious.com.
Oh, I wonder if it's mischievous.
I feel like they're tipping their hand about the show and the character.
Or Delicious or Loki or Disney Plus. I mean, it's got to be one of those.
Yeah. So 9 a.m. if you can guess the secret passcode, and if not, you can still start buying them at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Bother. You know you're not going to get any of these things.
Well, if you scroll down, you see what or if you go to the website, you can see what they're selling, and it is a box. It is a black box of Lucky Charms.
It looks good.
It looks like they've literally photoshopped where it says Loki onto the Lucky Charms. Yeah. Onto the Lucky part. And then it actually just looks like they took the art that is Lucky the Leprechaun and put the Loki hat on him.
That's all they needed to do.
They didn't even make like a new character for
Are you saying they didn't even try?
They didn't make a new marshmallow. They did.
They don't have to. Listen,
we're giving them all this publicity because they put a slightly different picture on the box,
and that's all they have to do. Because you know why?
Because people are gonna go to that pre-sale and they're gonna be scurrying around trying to figure out the passcode.
No, it's because there's only 3,500.
Oh yeah, but
That's not a
So
lot
how
of
hard
boxes.
would it be to become with another marshmallow for 3,500 boxes?
You're not going to get anything new. It's 3,500 boxes of Loki charms, and that includes the 1,000 that'll be part of the early pre-sale.
Okay.
So they have 1,000 for the pre-sale, and then the 2,500 the rest of the day at 11.
I just feel like this is why are we trying to drum up excitement about this when it's nothing different?
Well, I think this is...
We could make this box ourselves and put a bag of Lucky Charms in it.
So your problem is that there's nothing, it's the same cereal.
It's not actually anything special.
Someone, okay. We're coming to this show a little hurtful today, all right? Everything's special.
If anybody's going to get defensive about a box of Lucky Charms with a cartoon character on it.
No, I don't want you to get confused that I care about it. I don't.
Okay.
I'm more just disappointed because no one's going to get one, all right? You're not going to get a box of the Loki
So we don't
Charms.
have to be upset about it.
I don't even have to think about it.
Don't you have like a little concern and a little sadness for the people that are going to be these 3,500 people that
no, because
take their time and their hard-earned money to get one of these?
No, because someone made their little bot move from PlayStation 5 over to Loki Charms, and then they're moving it back.
They took a break from Bitcoin mining
to do that. So it's tomorrow. Good luck to everybody. But
yeah, really.
9 a.m. Eastern for Loki Charms.
Loki Charms.
There's only 3,500 boxes. And then at 11 a.m., that's when it switches to the rest for the not early pre-sale. And people can try to get them.
I think I'll just be fine maybe watching the show.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
What is the worst thing your dog has gotten into, or any of your pets? Like just the worst kind of...
I think it's normally dogs.
It's usually dogs, although I'll have a cat story I can tell in a little bit.
Sure.
But the reason I bring this up is because Jake from the afternoons, he's now in where I used to be. And he was telling a story of his dog, which I'm not exactly sure what kind of dog it is. I think it's an Affy Poo.
What's that?
I think it's an Afghan poodle mix. I know it ended with a poo. So it was definitely a poodle mix. It has a lot of fur. I know that. And he said that it just recently...
An Aussie poo or an Affy?
I think an Affy Poo. It could be an Offie... what did you say? Aussie Poo?
That's what's pulling up. I don't see anything with like the other one.
I looked it up because I was like, what? I think that's what he said. But either way, it's something that ends with poo. And then we'll leave it at that, I guess. and he said that his dog just ate 60 rubber bands.
Oh, no.
And so started
Why does Jake have 60 rubber bands?
Right?
Okay, that's question number one.
And then... And I was wondering, like, is it rubber bands or was it his wife's hair ties maybe he's talking about? Because I know dogs have a tendency to do that. And then they threw up, his dog threw up the 60 rubber bands. And my first initial thought, because I didn't talk to him about this, I just heard him talking about it on the air. My first thought was, how do you know it was 60? Did you count them after the fact?
It could have been a bag.
A whole bag. Then why not say that?
Maybe we didn't know that a baggie is 60 rubber bands.
That's right. That's the standard size of hair ties.
That would look like worms when it came out of a dog. That's gross.
I guess he did say, fortunately, his dog is okay. But 60 rubber bands. I really was thinking, how do you know, Jake? Did you sit there and count the 60 rubber bands?
Now I'm still learning more about him, and I don't know. Like, is he frugal? Did he wash them? And like, is he keeping them again?
Saved all the rubber bands after the...
Maybe I don't want to know, Jake, what you did with that, but I'm glad the dog threw them up, though. That probably would have been really bad.
I've seen stories before about how dogs will eat something, and then, of course, like it'll be rubber bands or whatever, and it'll get stuck in there to where they have to remove it.
My cat ate, a balloon string.
Yes.
I left the balloon, and it had a little weight on the bottom, I left it on the steps, and my cat ate the decorative balloon string that they have coming off, and he had to have it removed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was going to say when I've had cats, they're not under really my care, so I don't take responsibility for this, but my family has had multiple cats where they eat the balloon string and then they're walking around, and guess where it's hanging out? And somebody has to be responsible for removing that.
All right, Hudson, you got to be
thankful. And it's not been me.
Because it's a lot. it's so expensive to have it removed out of their
so
like,
just be thankful that it passed through.
Be very thankful. Thankful and grateful that you didn't have to pay for it.
I feel that I'll take the dog, like assuming that everybody winds up okay in the end, I'll take the dog throwing up 60 rubber bands over the cat.
The balloon string
where
anytime.
you have to pull the balloon string out.
Well, if anybody has any dog eating stories, and of course, share that with Jake this afternoon.
Yep.
But his dog ate 60, you said?
60 rubber bands. It was
60
he was
rubber
very
bands.
specific to 60.
Wow, I'm glad he's okay, but that would have been a mess.
That's a lot.
So he threw them up. At least he got them out. But what have you eaten from? What have no? What
have you eaten from your dog? Wait. On that note, did you know JR's story that when he was a child, he used to eat dog food?
He did.
He ate the kibbles
when he was a kid, like a baby.
Not baby. Like as a child, he would eat it as a snack.
Why? What
He
happened?
said his family was not very well-to-do, I guess you could say, which some of us have been there, but
I don't want that to be okay.
No, I don't. It's a really, there's a lot of not well-to-do families that don't eat dog food.
They find something else,
but
you know?
he said it was like a nice snack, a nice treat for him.
I reject everything
You're going to have to talk to him about that.
I don't want to talk to him
There's
about
so
it.
much you're missing when you don't listen to Radio U all day long. There's so much.
What's wrong with everybody else? All right, well, we'll come back and we'll share your tales of dogs and if they've eaten anything, especially if you had to pay money to get it out.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. 8772 Radio
Oh, JR,
U.
come on. I didn't need to know that.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We've got people texting in.
Why do we love our dogs so much, even though they're gross creatures?
They put us through so much. And I'm seeing these stories. I thought, I have a few to share. And then I see these other stories, and I'm like, mine
It's
don't
not
even
so
pale
bad.
in comparison. No.
Well, we were talking about Jake, who's doing afternoons now for Hudson, because Hudson joined us here in the mornings. And he was saying his dog got into and ate 60 rubber bands and then threw up. And it's like, man. And then everybody else has a dog story.
Yeah,
too.
they all do. Who do you want to start with?
Let's see. Stacy, she has a pug, and she sent a picture of it. Got into a bag of flour, but it was so cute because it's just a little pug. So you can't get mad at that.
Yeah, and that's not going to hurt it too much, right?
I don't think so. It's just the cleaning up.
Yeah, that's a big mess. Let's see. I like where was the one that with the. I don't know which person it was, but the dog ate laundry detergent.
Ashley.
That was Ashley.
Yeah, dog ate laundry detergent and drywall the same
and a
day.
whole tub of butter. How is her dog still alive?
Well, I think the butter kind of
it greased the pipes
and then
to get
everything was
out.
fine. Yeah, probably.
That laundry detergent, it was doing the Tide Pod challenge.
Before.
Yeah, it was before it was cool.
The drywall thing, I know some dogs chew on drywall.
Yeah, well, I had, this is the one I was going to tell is my dog had really bad, when we first got her, anxiety when we would leave.
Oh, yeah.
And she would chew up the carpet in our apartment.
Oh, God. Oh, that's worse.
Yes, it was an apartment.
No!
And what was funny was we kind of it wasn't so bad to where we couldn't deal with it, and we were also pretty poor. So then we're
You
but
steal
we're
carpet
not as poor as JR eating dog food, I guess, but
still,
poor enough that we don't want to fix the carpet.
You take carpet from the closets and you just remove a little bit and you put it in the outer part.
But here's what we did. We left it until we moved out.
Yeah.
And then after we had moved out, we got a Facebook message. The guy who moved in found us, and he had gotten some mail and stuff that I had to go pick up. So I go and pick it up at this apartment that I used to live at. And the apartment complex had changed it out. So now it was all this nice hardwood floor.
Oh, you didn't even get that.
And we didn't get the hardwood floor, but at least they didn't charge us for the carpet, though, for some reason. I don't know what.
You know what? You could have taken it with you.
That's right. We should have. We should have just rolled it up. What if, though, maybe we didn't dig up far enough because it chewed up the carpet. It didn't chew the part underneath.
Yeah.
We should have just peeled it all up, and we might have had hardwood floors the whole time.
Maybe they hated you guys so much because the dog chewed the carpet that they're just like, just put hardwood floors in. We can't.
And they orchestrated the guy getting our mail so that we could just rub it in. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that does work out. If your dog eats carpet, don't have carpet.
Yeah, but at least she's grown up a lot, and actually now we live in an apartment that's all hardwood floor, so it works out.
Sometimes you just got to know your dog's limitations.
That's right.
And like what works for them. Well,
yeah.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Right now, we are hoping to hear from you as you continue to text in. We are talking about the worst things that your dogs have gotten into, the worst things that your dogs have eaten.
And what's bad.
Trevor's is pretty bad. It's not so uncommon for a dog to get into what his dog did.
It's the worst when it does happen, but I think it's like the secret thing all dog owners know will happen.
Right. It has to happen at some point almost.
But when it does, you just want to die.
Yeah. So to hear Trevor tell it, he says he was walking his dog. They were a few blocks from home. The dog stopped and started chewing on something. And when that happens, like usually your tendency is, especially if you see the dog continue to chew on something for a few seconds, you yell at the dog. If it doesn't drop it, then you gotta go in. Yeah. So Trevor goes in, and before he gets his hand in there, but before he couldn't stop himself before he realized it was poop.
It was another dog's
poop.
It wasn't even his. That is gross.
Well,
I mean, on the scale though of like, what if it was a dead animal?
I guess it could. There are worse things, but
I don't know.
I hate when I'm taking my dog out and she poops, and then your bag has a little tiny hole in it, and you get a little dog on your hand.
Oh no!
And that's my own dog.
Why don't you just double bag it?
That's a good point. I've got a multitude of bags all under my sink. Full of bags.
Fix to this.
I should just put a second bag.
You don't just accept that and go with it.
Do we all? Are we all on the same page that no matter how many bags you bring with you when you walk your dog will always poop one more time than you have bags for?
Well, maybe your dog needs to.
She only does. If I take her out in the yard, she'll poop once. If I take her out for a walk, doesn't matter how many bags I'll bring, she'll find a way to spread it out to where I don't have enough.
That's a statement, number two. Like she's making a statement.
She is leaving a trail.
She is. She wants to say hi to everybody. Well, David texted and said, we weren't exactly well off, but and not in bad shape either. But as a practical joke, I would put dog food in my younger brother's cereal bowl with milk, and he would eat it and not know any better.
I wonder what cereal they would normally eat.
That would just look like it.
Must have been Cheerios.
And they said they had an American bulldog, and it was in his cage. And when they came home, the blanket in the bottom of the cage was completely gone, and the wall next to the cage had a huge hole in it.
Oh no!
So David, man, your dog was eating stuff.
She had some anxiety there. Jeez.
Oh, that's bad. But you guys can still text and tell us. I had a Mastiff, and he was 160 pounds. So he was a very big dog, and so when he would do anything, it wasn't a small
that's
amount.
A problem. Yeah.
And I remember one time he ate half a step on the steps going up, like the decorative outer part, because you could go around the corner and go up more steps. He ate that off.
Oh my gosh.
I was
all that wood.
And it's not an easy fix.
Yeah.
It's not an easy fix at all.
No,
but it was upsetting. But then he was just like looking at you, because he used to like to lay there. That was his favorite spot on the steps, and he would just.
Now where am I supposed to go?
I know. What do I do now? And then my dog Rollo now, he's a beast when it comes to plants. Like he'll eat them all, and so I have to lock him in my office at home. And I have like these two doors that close together, so it's not like there's a lock. But he knows how to use his nose to open up the doors.
Yeah.
So I have to wrap bungee cord around the doors to keep him from going in there.
Yes.
Because if not, all my plants are injured in some way. Half of them are missing, or just they're in bad shape because he'll mess with them all.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I watched a video not too long ago. It was this family where they had locked up their dog in the office, because that's the safe spot, right?
I'm locking my dog out of it.
The office is the one spot, but in their office, they also had like a wine like closet, basically, they might have had a problem. But the dog had figured out how to get into the wine closet with its nose. Oh, no. So that was a bad situation.
Well, again, you love your little dogs, but man, they have no boundaries.
No, they don't. They don't understand.
There's no fresh by date because it was spoiled when they made it. Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Starting to getting ready for breakfast. Haven't eaten yet.
These will do, right?
Yeah, they might. They're another future Riot food fight, I'm sure.
I did put it on the list. We talked about when they were unveiling these, but now it looks like they're finally out, and there's another summertime flavor that I didn't know about, and this is all in my wheelhouse right here.
Yeah, I remember seeing about one of these, but all of a sudden, a bunch of them just popped up all at once. Popped?
It's your Pop-Tarts. Little Pop-Tart humor.
Yeah, that's right. That's what this show thrives on. It's the Pop-Tart jokes.
Hey, that was all you.
Yep. So here's what we've got. We've got peach cobbler Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Banana cream pie Pop-Tarts.
Woo!
That's yours, huh?
That's it. Bring it in.
And lemon cream pie Pop-Tarts. Yeah, not so bad.
Half the energy.
And then apparently also new for the summer, not pie flavored, but it is tropical mango.
That one sounds really good. I love mango, but I guess I normally would go with the like the cookies and cream or the real frosting sort of driven ones for Pop-Tarts, but these are very fruit flavored ones.
Mango seems to be the flavor of the summer, isn't it? You got the Pepsi mango out there. It's finding its way in. It's mango and blue things that are if you've seen all the blue sodas out there.
What's the box color for the Pop-Tarts?
That's right.
It's blue.
It's blue. It's the summer of blue.
So lemon cream pie and peach cobbler Pop-Tarts will be in 8-count boxes at all retailers.
Okay.
But the banana cream one is a Walmart exclusive in a 16-count box.
Sheesh. Well, you're going to be eating good for a while there.
I will be. I'm totally trying to find this weekend. Pop-Tarts Tropical Mango, that will be nationwide at stores as well in an 8-count box.
8-count box.
So it seems like the only Walmart exclusive one is the banana cream pie.
So we'll have to go on a Walmart shopping trip, apparently, to get Nikki taken care of with these. I don't know. I guess I'm not the world's biggest fan of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
And I really don't know that I trust them to make a peach cobbler. You know what I mean?
I bet it'd be good. The only issue when we try them, I do prefer Pop-Tarts to be warmed up.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like we need to bring the toaster in here.
Yeah.
So that way we can kind of time it out right, because they get cold really quick and then they're not as good.
Do you find that some Pop-Tarts they thrive when they are microwaved over being toasted? Depending on the kind. You don't try it?
I've never microwaved.
They have the instructions on the box.
Really?
You microwave it for 3 seconds.
No.
That's what it says.
What's the point?
It gives it it works.
Do you toast it then, or are you just saying a quick 3 seconds?
Just
and then
a quick
you can
3,
eat them?
and it's a substitute for toasting. Wow. It doesn't give it quite the same, of course, but
it'll do.
It's quicker if toasting isn't quick enough for you.
What I find is that they're like 3 seconds in the microwave or 2 hours in the oven.
That's right.
If you have a normal, a large oven.
Yeah.
We would say rate and review the podcast. But let's be honest, that would probably hurt more than help. The Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've got a mystery on our hands here in the building.
Maybe we can make this into a podcast of Who Done It.
Oh, yeah. Like Serial back in the day.
Yes.
See, I was thinking of Knives Out. Maybe this is all a part of Knives Out, too, because everything seems to be in everything and everybody is in Knives Out, too.
Well, I noticed this morning for the first time that Chris, our engineer,
yes,
fantastic guy, always makes Radio U possible, that he has a missing coffee mug.
Yeah.
And he put a sign up on the wall that it's missing.
So it must have been gone for a while now.
Now I noticed.
And of course, you and I we kind of searched through the kitchen thinking, surely we know better than Chris, as if... You know, Chris.
I did too.
It's not like he didn't look through all the cupboards or something. So I don't know why we thought we would be able to find it.
At first, I was hopeful, maybe he just missed it.
Right.
But I didn't check the dishwasher. Did you?
I did look in the dishwasher.
It's not in there?
And I feel that Chris would know to look in the dishwasher,
I know,
too.
but just in case.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be able to put it back on the shelf for him.
Yeah.
But it's his, it's got all these teddy bears on it. And it's a Christmas mug.
He's got a nice mug collection. So if this one does not wind up turning back up,
I feel like he'll miss this one.
Yeah. Well, he made a sign for it.
Because he loves it.
Right. You know what I would not do if any of my coffee mugs went missing?
What, make a sign?
Make a sign. The only coffee mugs I have here are ones that I either don't care about as much in case that something happens to them, or I have one mug that my wife hates, so I have to keep it here.
It's your work mug.
It's my work mug.
Well, Chris, maybe he'll have to tell us, like, is it upstairs? Did you take it home and you don't realize it? Like, it's got to be somewhere. No one would take the Christmas mug.
Nobody would take it. And you might think, well, Obi just left, right? So maybe he accidentally got it mixed in with all of his collectibles.
He forgot most of his stuff.
He didn't even take home the stuff that he owns.
He lives so
He
much
didn't take his own stuff, so I don't think he took Chris's. And
but if Obi doesn't come and claim his, then we can just give all that stuff to Chris.
Chris, yeah, as a parting gift, or a way to make up for his missing mug. What concerns me, did this cross your mind? You start to think the worst. That somehow his mug got broken.
And no one told him?
And no one knew it was his, or no one knew to tell him, because I can't think of any other explanation.
Well, I feel like we have someone who comes in and cleans, and we have just sometimes guests every so often, but for the most part, it's really just the staff that's allowed in the building.
It's not a lot of people, and even less of us, despite what we say, there's only a few of us that even drink coffee.
Sure.
So why would anybody be messing with mugs?
But this coffee mug has a look to it, because, it's like cute in an ironic way. Uh-huh. So if someone who doesn't know the irony, like to come in and see this mug and be like, well, that's one ugly mug.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's not a mug you would associate with someone keeping.
Uh-huh.
I feel like if they didn't know, they probably said, well, whose is this? Like, I'm obviously throwing this away.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have somebody that would do that, though, is what I don't think.
I hope not.
No, if that's the case, then my mug that I'm protecting from my wife might also be going soon. Yeah.
So just hang on to everything.
I got to hide that one.
But if anybody here at the RadioU studios, as you're driving in, please be aware that the wanted sign is up in the break room. And if you find Chris's coffee mug, if not, we can always look. Maybe it's on eBay or something.
We can buy him a replacement. That'd be so sweet, wouldn't it?
And I'm not replying or buying it because I broke it or anything.
No.
I think as a station, we could purchase a new one. It would be nice.
And maybe that's a way of us collectively protecting whoever did break it.
Maybe.
But we're not admitting guilt because it wasn't us.
Nope.
But we don't want things to get ugly. We just want everybody to be happy and get along.
On the kind of like wanted notice sign, there's a picture of the actual mug. He has a picture of it.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that. Why does he have a picture of that mug?
The riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the riot. Radio U.
This summer, of course, we're all going to be a lot of people heading out to the beach. And normally I feel that when you go to the beach, and I'm talking a real beach, you don't need
a lake beach?
Yes. When you go to the real beach, you don't need bug spray. But you might need it now going to the real beach and the lake, because you definitely need it at the lake. In California, they are finding the ticks are moving more and more towards the beaches.
Oh, really?
And with ticks comes...
I thought that was a forest thing.
Yeah, so did I. I guess they're getting more aggressive. I don't know what it is.
Well,
but
I can tell you this. It's the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's wine country.
Uh-huh.
So they're going for the wine.
That's right. Well,
they want a little rest and relaxation too. You go to the ocean and you're at the beach and you're drinking.
That's what I was thinking. If you're a tick, wouldn't you? What's nicer, the forest or heading out to the beach, especially when you're a tick and you want to feast on people? There's a lot of exposed skin. Yeah. It doesn't make it so hard
and you'll be
to
more
find a meal.
saltier because you're at the beach, and it probably taste more like wine.
Yep. It's tanned. It's hot, so it's already cooking for you a little bit.
Yeah, they actually say they don't know why ticks are going to the beach. They don't know what animal is going to the beach, and actually it's bringing them.
Bringing the ticks with it.
And maybe that's us. They say they survive in coastal areas. That's a mystery on how they actually can survive there. Because normally it's, not in that type of area.
Yeah. So what the real problem is, obviously ticks is somewhat of a problem, but when you have ticks that they're now confirming are carrying Lyme disease is showing up at the beach. That makes it even worse. And that is one of the worst things where I know people where they go hiking or whatever. You don't know it's a big deal. And it's not their fault or anything, but they get bitten by a tick and all of a sudden they've got Lyme disease. And that's, you have to live with that for a long time. So
it's hard to, like, is anybody else's pet owners, during tick season?
You really have to be careful about making sure you treat them ahead of time.
Yes, because
and don't let them go in the tall grass.
And you're like, wait, what's that? It's a tick. And you want to get it off as quickly as possible.
With us, it's not as big a deal. I feel, at least where I live, even though we have a million cicadas, we don't have...
Oh, you don't get ticks?
We don't have enough trees to wear or like forested area. You can take your dog on a walk and everybody's got their yards mowed and stuff. So ticks aren't a big deal. You still have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, my one dog still gets them, and then they'll sometimes be around his eye.
Oh yeah, that's so bad.
And my other dog back in the day, because they sleep in bed, and that's the worst.
Oh yeah.
Because then one day I woke up with a tick on my arm. It wasn't attached or anything. It was just walking. Yeah. But I was like, oh, we can't do this.
Ticks are one of the things that I really do freak out about.
Oh, it's bad.
Because if they do bite you, it's so gross, and they always want to go for like the worst parts of your body too.
Yep.
You're always like.
You check your hair.
Yep, you find them in your hair, your armpits. It's a bad surprise if you ever stumble across one.
You might not know this with Hudson, but he has long hair.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You could get it too.
I was seeing in the comments of the last food fight, there was people asking me to take my hat off
because they want to see it
because of the previous conversations.
Well, just be safe if you're in areas where ticks are with your pets and with yourself. And if you're in wine country and you're touring, and then you go to the ocean. They say they're just an extra overabundance of them now there, and it used to be an area they weren't.
You just want to always have that tick spray with you just in case. Or maybe you need to run that same kind of fluid down your back like you do with your dog.
I don't
know if that's treated for humans. Is that approved?
I don't think it is.
Approved? If it works on a dog, it's got to be good enough for us, right?
It's also very specific to their weight, and our weight's not the same as our dog.
So we just need more then.
You just have to buy a bunch. I think we can find something cheaper.
But hopefully.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Join us for the Philadelphia annual Naked Bike Ride. That's coming up on August 28th.
I think we're busy that day. I don't know what we're busy with, but we have something.
I had this on the schedule, though.
You hate when things don't work out, right? You can still go if you want.
It's my annual trip. I set aside a week for it every time. It's such a great community.
I just want it to be, and I always think about that when there's like naked news and stuff to where you just wanted to go into Philadelphia that day. Maybe it was your first time traveling since the pandemic. You bring the whole family, got your little siblings.
It's a big weekend. It's right before Labor Day. You're getting You're getting a vacation in, but it's educational as well. You're going to see the Liberty Bell. You're going to see...
You're going to see stuff.
You're going to see something else. You're going to go to the museum, whatever the museum is. And all of a sudden, there's a Ben Franklin impersonator on a bike.
Naked.
With nothing.
So you're just there and you're traveling, and that's what you see. And apparently, this is an annual bike ride race, the Philly Naked Bike Ride. And they say that this year, you will need to, at least as of right now, they're requiring a face mask, but no clothes, just a face mask.
Well, where do you have to wear the face mask?
That's up to you. No, they're saying you do have to cover your mouth with it. They say that even though Philadelphia has lifted a lot of its COVID rules, they have an increase in vaccinations, decrease in cases, but the ride organizers say that the city guidelines haven't changed for the time being, and so they're going to stick to the guidelines right now.
You would tend to think that they would maybe lift those by the time the bike ride comes around, but you just can't be too sure. It's kind of funny that the guidelines allow for a bunch of, it sounds like a lot of people, like over 1,000, I think it said, sometimes in the thousands. Yep. Where they will have over 1,000 naked people all on bikes. And it says not only are they on bikes, they also beforehand to cover up will paint each other.
So, can't you just paint yourself? Can't you? Why'd you have to say it that way? It's just
that's how the story says it.
So it's a 10-mile bike ride. They go through and around area sites. So Independence Hall, Liberty Bell, the Museum of Art.
Where all the regular tourists would be.
They go to,
you're going to see the naked bike rider.
That's the Rocky Steps. So basically, and you actually just unfortunately pick the same route. So you're just right behind them the whole time.
There has to be bus tours that do the same thing. And you're going through and you just happen to be following this big group.
So it looks like last year they canceled the event. So this is its first year back from that. And you can be naked.
You can. It always, to me, I don't know why this sticks in my mind. I think it's because it's in a Seinfeld episode. The idea of riding a bike naked feels to me a lot worse than doing a lot of other things naked.
Why would you do that? That must be so uncomfortable.
That's what I'm thinking. For everybody involved.
Everybody. All right, so we've told you about it. Now you know when to not go to Philadelphia.
That's right.
That's
Change
August
your plans.
28th.
That's why it was so hard to get a hotel in Philadelphia.
You do not want to go then.
No, just go to a different city.
Aww.
Oh.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.